to Walter Reed. And, that's what's going on. Lots of casualties, more so than they are mentioning. I know that one of the bases has run out of they have no remaining air defense system. It has run out. So here going forward, the U.S. troops that are still there, they have no defense against missile and drone attacks. None.
So if you tried to put a CD,
Salakia, bear with me. Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shem Kadash. Watch this.
If Iran decides to press the attacks there, there's going to be a lot of casualties.
It was the Iraqi resistance that took credit for the downed KC-135 refueling tanker that took the lives, I believe it was 6 U.S. personnel. Iran has oil prices going up through the closure of Strait of Hormuz now $100 a barrel again, approaching that. It fluctuates, but overall the trend is upward. We have the Iran also with the news that Marines are going to be coming to the Middle East. Iran's IRGC is saying, please, we are ready for you. And you probably saw the imagery, Larry, of on Quds Day, you had Mossad Pezeshkian, the president of Iran. You had Abbas Araghchi, the foreign minister, and Larijani, the head of National Security Council. They were all there without a security. They were all there in a huge rally of millions of Iranians without a security detail. And so I'm curious on if you could comment on Iran's position right now. We hear that from the Trump administration that they're looking to surrender. I'm curious if you agree with that.
No. Well, Trump, as always, is lying about that. So let me ask, so you're not a military guy. I mean, you've got some knowledge. But you tell me how you think, okay, we've got 25, give me the mission. Tell me what those 2,500 Marines, what are they going to do?
Well, there's been reports
and I'm not trying to embarrass you with this, but what I want to, because you help to express for people that may not have the military background, how they see this developing, and then I want to explain what if any problems there are with how you see it.
Yeah, no, the only thing I can see, Larry, from how I see the battlefield map when it comes to this war is what I'm hearing from the Pentagon and from so-called military analysts, unofficial, unnamed. And it seems like what they want to do is seize the coastline or Karg Island or something like this, some kind of operation. We've heard how many times some kind of specialized operation, targeted operation. That seems to be what, at least from the outside looking in, without the expertise, what they're planning. I don't know if you agree with that.
Okay. Salakia. Shalom. Before we lose what I'm trying to set up here, listen to what Larry says about what is coming for the draft. Okay? I'm going to point it out. All right? He's going to talk about casualties and how the Northern Army is going to come over. But what this has to do with is a draft. And that's what this video is largely about, the draft. And it's about the baboon of WAR-A-LAGO, okay, which is a different video. Hopefully I can get to it quickly. So bear with me as I try to get through this. And I'll give the intro as soon as this is over. Listen to what Larry says. He's going to say something about how anything on the water is at risk, right? And I'm going to explain how a lot of U.S. soldiers are going to die. All right, so let him go.
So you got to get those ships, the Marines. They're going to be on ships. They're going to offload on those ships, so they'll come out of. We got some landing craft, LSTs, that the boats that will take them to shore will come out of the ship itself. But that means they got to get close enough to shore where they're going to be in range of Iranian missiles and drones. So how do you protect those ships from getting blown up even before you get the sailors to shore? You don't.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say some miracle happens, you get you get those Marines to shore.
Let's stop right there. Okay. This is very important. Okay. Why? Them ships ain't coming to shore. And all the people on them are going to die at the same time. Now we're going to look at the how many personnel a carrier carries. If that carrier gets sunk right there, all those people die at the same time. All right? Call halal Yahawah Shemi al Shabbat Shimmer Kakwadah Shalom. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, even the elders that came before them that tell us it's true. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that are pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, hopefully like Tabernacle of David. I'm the elder Yashuan. Shalom and salutations to you all. Now this is just a theory, okay? Because here's what's about to happen. They're sending troops right now. Those troops are going to die quick. They're going to start this draft. It's going to destroy everything. It's going to start this place, Babylon, to fight against each other in the Civil War. Because troops are going over, dying that quick. Right? If you sink one carrier, let's see how many. Let's see. Perhaps near. Let's just get this. Let's get Groucho. How many personnel
To Walter Reed.
does the average aircraft carrier um, carry? Question. U.S. aircraft carrier carry question mark. Okay, now let's find out how many people are going to die at one time. Okay, go to all here. Oh, 5,000 at a time. Okay. Typical ship organization, when fully manned, an aircraft carries home to as many as 5,000 personnel. How many personnel did they say they sent? How many? U.S. And this is a lie. They're going to tell a lie. So, have already been sent to the war in Iran. Current. What do I want to say? This far. Question. Bear with me. See, they're going to tell some stories right here. Around 2,500, I believe that's. So that's not even 5,000, and that's a lie. Is that. Okay. More Marines heading as U.S. continues. Okay, it says are. Okay, it says 2,500 are heading. How many have already been sent? You're not going to tell me that? Deployment, approximately 5,000. See? See how they're using these low numbers? 2,500. Well, we know that there's what? How many carriers are out there? 2 or 3. Add that up. And then a flotilla, right? How many in a flotilla? Carrier group. how many soldiers are in a complete carrier, U.S. carrier group? Question. More than 5,000 it better be. Huh. Okay. Another 25. So a whole carrier group you could take down roughly 7.5 personnel in one strike. Okay? 75, whatever, roughly. So these devils are not going to tell the truth. But let's get a precept. In Slovakia. Okay. And they're not going to make it back. Joel 2:20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and I will drive them into a barren land, a land barren, Slot, and desolate, with his face towards the east sea and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, right there, Valley of Jehoshaphat. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because the Most High hath done great things. Okay, so they're pretty much just going to go over there to die, right? So your family, right? If you don't want your family to go over there, guess what you better be doing right now? Okay? Because the men are going. Young boys are going, to your dismay. Okay? Your children are going. Your daughters are going. My daughter is going. Okay? Why? Wickedness. What's going to happen? This. I pray for her mercy every day. But guess what? Most High is not playing. We're about to see mass casualties. All right? So that's what that is. I just wanted to go over that. What did he say? Let's go back and watch Larry say that again. It starts with an amphibious. You got to send in the Marines first for a ground war. You got to get on the ground. They ain't going to paratroop in, right? However they get in. No, you gotta move up with some ships. Larry knows what the hell he's talking about. Let me find out where he
Then what? 25 hemp.
Who is seize the coastline or Karg Island or something like this, some kind of operation. We've heard how many times some kind of specialized operation, targeted operation. That seems to be what, at least from the outside looking in, without the expertise, what they're planning. I don't know if you agree with that.
Okay, so you got to get those ships, the Marines. They're going to be on ships. They're going to offload on their ships. So
see how he said Marines? See, the Marines go in first. Okay? So all your men are going to die right there. How many females are in the Marines? I don't know if they even have female Marines, because they're about to rush that beachhead and die on the beachhead. You might not even, they're going to approach on the water in the carrier group and get smoked, and they're waiting. See, this is what the Iranian guy said. Oh, we're waiting for you. You're not going to even make it to the ground. They know that you got to come up, so they're going to get you on the water. Why haven't they sank any carriers yet? They let you know that they can. Why haven't they sunk any yet? Because there ain't nobody on them yet. When they got to send troops over, that's when they're going to start sinking these carriers and all these ships. They know exactly how to do it. It's a trap. It's an ambush, and this devil's walking straight into it. Okay, so let him finish that.
Come out of, we got some landing craft, LSTs, that the boats that will take them to shore will come out of the ship itself. But that means they got to get close enough to shore.
So they ain't going to make it. How are all those people going to die like this? How are all those people going to die at the same time? See? Let's get this. See, motherfucker. It's a lock in. People aren't considering what the scriptures say. Let's start with what the scripture is saying and not me. Okay? Let's start right here. Second Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death. See that great death? Beginning of wars. The power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do in these years? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish. Okay, great death. And the dead shall be cast out of. Second Ezra 16 and 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. Great death. Okay. Beginning of wars, and great death, the beginning of wars. If we're at the beginning of great death, 7,000 at a time, what does the middle of great death look like? 50,000. What does the end of great death look like? A mushroom cloud. Okay? Now let's go here. And what does this mean? Look at this headline from Pepe and Nima. What Iran just did could change the Middle East forever. What does that mean? Let's get it. And then I'm going to go ahead and close. I'm going to try to make this quick. Got to go to 13. Let's see. Nope, 15. It's a lot. Okay. So what we're watching, I'm going to try to make this quick. Then shall the dragons, 2 Ezra 15 and 31, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand. What does that mean? That means after Iran destroys these motherfuckers, which is what we're watching now, when shall the dragons have the upper hand? Very soon. Let's go back here, read this. What Iran just did could change the Middle East. What? That's it. What Iran just did, and the Carmanians, raging wrath, shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. Well, the Arabs been getting their ass, Hezbollah have been getting their ass whooped. Look at Gaza. Those are the Arabs. The who? The Arab nations. Who are the dragons? The Arab nations. Yemen, Gaza, Jordan. These are the Arab nations. Okay? So, this is happening right now. To provide for what? Now, the Arabs are going to have the upper hand. And we're watching. Okay? That's what this means. The battlefield has changed. We can all say, look. Iran's bold stand reshapes the Middle East. What does it say? Forever. Ultimatum, Hormuz. We all knew that this was going to come down. A lot of bodies are about to go inside the meat grinder. We got to watch that. And fair use for all of this. Okay. I'm not even going to go into this. Well, I'm going to let him say something. 7:30. What is it?
Actions.
So long. The devil. Go devil. Go devil. So, let me cue this up. I'm going to let Pepe speak for just a second. Let's see. He said a couple of things. 15, 7, 30. Let's see if this works.
Just as a start, to you, Nima, and to all of you, our audience, there are 4 levels of transiting or not transiting in the Strait of Hormuz now, which until a few days ago was an international waterway, the most important bottleneck in the world. So now there are 4 levels. First level, China. You can go back and forth anytime you want, anywhere you want to go, wherever you come from, going to China, no problem.
This has to do with shipping. Whether you're shipping goods or soldiers, guess what? Just might get blown out of the water.
If you're going back from China to refuel in the Persian Gulf, no problem. Because
to refuel, in order to win a war, you got to have logistics. You got to have oil. Planes don't run on, they run on them on that jet fuel that you got to make, you got to transport, you got to have it ready, you got to refuel, or you can't win no damn war. And guess what? Iran is at home, and they got plenty of oil. Who don't? Who's not at home and who ain't got no oil?
There is a bilateral deal, Tehran, Beijing, which was concluded last Thursday. Yeah, definitely, first there was an understanding, an oral understanding. Then they struck a real deal this past Thursday. The second tier is countries who ask Iran for free passage. And then there are 2, especially, but the situation is completely different between.
What are we talking about? Transportation on the waterway. Naval vessel, right? Transportation. That's what makes the world go around.
One of them is Bangladesh. Bangladesh diplomatically asked Iran, look, we have an enormous energy problem. The Iranians said, no problem. As long as you identify yourselves as, coming and going to Bangladesh, no problem.
So what we're watching is the changing of the guard. Who's controlling everything? Not the U.S. and not the smiggity smallies heads. Okay? So this is what is going to manifest and hold this war in place until Yahushua gets here.
India. India is extremely complicated. There was a phone call a few days ago, and I include this in one of my columns this week, between Jai Shankar, the Ministry of Foreign Relations of India, and Arakshi, Minister of Foreign Relations of Iran. Basically, Jai Shankar was asking for free passage in the Strait of Hormuz.
Who's controlling the Strait of Hormuz? Where is the Strait of Hormuz? Right? So I can guarantee you it's an Arab nation that's controlling it. Okay? Let's look. What? How many soldiers? What? What country is controlling WAR, W-H-O-R, moves, W-H-O-R-M-U-Z. Hors d'oeuvres. Whores divorce. Oman. Ooh. What does that say? Arab. Oman. Oman, Jordan. Basin countries. Coordinates. Okay? That's the Carmanians. Who's that? These are the Arab nations. Okay? Iran controls global oil route. Okay? But point being made is that it's pretty easy to see what right now. If you ain't, what is that whole area about shipping oil? Well, guess what? Americans ain't shipping no oil, right? So what? And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, right? They're controlling the oil in the waterways, and nobody can stop them. All right, so everything has changed, right? And now, what is the conclusion of it? Somebody's going to run, all right? And it's going to keep, it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going, all right? And we already know this, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to go any further. But a lot of people are going to die on those carriers, right? And what that means is that they're going to need more people. They're going to need more people. And then your sons and daughters are going to be shipped straight over there. Why? Because they don't care. If you're in the military, you understand this. They don't care if they lose a battalion. They don't care if they lose a company. What is it? A regiment. They don't care. They'll send you straight in, have you die for the greater purpose. They don't care. You have to keep that in mind as your children are going over there. And as your husbands, old as hell, 50, 55, going over there to die for the wickedness that you're doing over here. Okay? It's judgment time. All right? So it behooves you, right, to get your ass in order right now and start praying and doing. See, everybody is an expert at saying shit, but nobody's an expert at doing a damn thing. With that, we hope that the elect will edify you, brothers and peace. Salakia. I'm looking for a doer of the word. Salaki, I'm looking up on the phone. Call halal. 1111. Bear with me for a moment. James, is that James? 122? James 1 and 22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving. Look at this word. The devil. Deception. You understand? A little leaven is all it takes for you to be full of shit. If you're being deceptive in one thing, all the rest of it is bullshit and I can't deal with it. One thing you can't tell me. I can't tell them that. Right? Well, then the rest of it is all a lie. Doesn't matter. I could believe any fucking thing I want. And I'm going to believe the worst. If there's a little leaven, I'm going to go for the worst thing possible, put it there so I can deal like that moving forward. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. If you can't tell me one thing, you can't tell me shit. With that, we pray that the elect are edified. Shalom to the elect.